your trusted source for news.
Express our sincere apologies over there due to technical headphones over there, but we're grateful that you're staying with us here on ABC Midday. I'm Eric Chunibwa Mello. Let's stick with our first story. And President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has called on the clergy to exercise restraint regarding prophecies about the outcome of the December 7 elections, encouraging respect and caution throughout the electoral period. He urged religious leaders to guide their congregation in promoting peace and stability during this crucial time. In remarks delivered on his behalf by Stephen Asamoah Boateng, Minister of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs at the Agent of Peace campaign organized by the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council on Sunday, November 3, 2024, the President highlighted the importance of decorum. He emphasized the role of the clergy in fostering a respectful and unifying environment as the country heads towards the elections. President Akufo-Addo also cautioned political parties and religious figures against using divisive languages of making premature declarations of victory. He underscored the need for unity and warned against any rhetoric that could heighten tensions, reminding leaders of their influence on the nation's stability. Let's still do more election-related news, and as your poll center, we are very poised in bringing you more comprehensive coverage of this 2024 election. The president of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, Apostle Eric Nyamechem, has called on stakeholders and political leaders to prioritize the peace and well-being of Ghanaians as the country prepares for the 2024 general elections. He made this appeal at the launch of the National Peace Campaign themed Let Peace Prevail, held at the forecourt of the State House on Sunday, November 3. In his address, Apostle Nyamechem urged stakeholders to avoid violence, emphasizing the need for sacrifices, compromise, and intentional actions that will support peace and stability for Ghanaians throughout the election period and beyond.
It is crucial to prioritize the peace and well-being of our citizens in every election. Achieving this will require sacrifices, compromises, and concessions. It will demand intentional efforts and thoughtful action by all meaningful stakeholders of the land. It is
joining us to have a conversation on this. We're trying to engage contact with the Most Reverend Kwesi Jemfi to have a conversation on that, but unfortunately we seem to be having technical issues. We'll actually call him again to have a conversation on the back of this. Let's move on to some more stories. The Electoral Commission of Ghana has firmly refuted claims of printing extra ballot papers for the 2024 general elections. Addressing the media at the tour during a tour of some printing centers, Dr. Bosman Asare, Deputy Chairman of the Commission in charge of corporate services, reassured the public of a transparent and accountable ballot paper printing process. Dr. Bosman Asare emphasized that any excess ballots are destroyed in the presence of political party agents, maintaining transparency and fairness in the electoral process. He further assured Ghanaians of the EC's commitment to a peaceful and credible election.
This is the total number going to this particular region. This is the total number going to this particular constituency. So if you hear anyone saying anywhere that the Electoral Commission has printed more than the necessary ballots, that's a complete lie. Because the parties are aware, they know the ballot statistics for each region, for each constituency. And in this year's election, what the Commission said is that we are giving each constituency an increase of 2%, and that's exactly what we are printing. So if you hear anywhere people say, oh, the EC has printed excess of 3,000, 2,000 here, it's not true. And the parties are here, and the parties agents themselves can testify that indeed the numbers the EC has given to the party, that's what we are printing, that's what the printing houses are printing, and that's what EC officials are also checking, and the parties are also checking. And as I indicated, when we finish all the ballots for each constituency together, as far as each region is also concerned, will be bagged, and the parties are going to have their seals on the bags. The EC is also going to have its seals on the bags. So everything.
You are the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. John Dramani Mahama has vowed that the NDC will resist any form of intimidation and ballot stuffing in the upcoming December 7 polls. Delivering his address at the campaign rally in Sanirigu, the former president expressed concerns over the past allegations of electoral malpractice and pledged that the NDC would stand firm in protecting the integrity of this year's elections come December 7.
Caught NPP agents with ballot papers in their hands. We reported them to the police. Nothing happened to them. So this election, we are not taking any chances. Just yesterday, one of our election supervisors went to inspect one of the printing houses, and an NPP person came there and wanted to assault him. We know that when they print the excess ballot papers, instead of shredding them in front of the agents, they keep them and hand them over to the NPP. We are not going to allow that to happen this year. Nobody is going to get hold of any extra ballot papers to go and dump them into any ballot box. This year, we are all going to be vigilant.
Still on election, the presidential candidate of the All People's Congress, Hassan Ayariga, has called for peace and unity among citizens as the country approaches the general election. Speaking at the 2024 peace campaign organized by the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, he emphasized that peaceful elections are essential for maintaining Ghana's democratic stability. The APC leader also highlighted the role of the Electoral Commission and security agencies in ensuring fair, transparent and safe elections.
Town is a ghost town now. And I'm a presidential candidate. I think I need more peace than all of you here. And I think I've seen war. Peace is expensive, but war is more expensive. As we sit here, look at my weight. I can't even run again. How can I carry my brother, my father, my uncle, my sister, or my children? Where am I?
And now the former president, John Dramani Mahama, has called for an end to what he described as the militarization of our elections, where armed military and security operatives are deployed to polling and collation centers. According to him, the practice has become a recipe for chaos and needs to be stopped to maintain sanity in the country's electoral process. Speaking at the 2024 peace campaign organized by the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council in collaboration with the Christian Council and the Office of the National Chief Imam, will be making an official proposal to the National Peace Council to expand the signatories to the Peace Pact to include all other important stakeholders in the elections.
If someone is or is disruptive during the election, they should be made to face justice. The government has a responsibility to hold accountable any criminals who masquerade during the elections as state security operatives. No weapons must be allowed in or around any polling stations, including at all collation centers. Election security is the primary responsibility of the Ghana Police Service under the Inspector General of Police. There must therefore be no deployment of the military or armed national security operatives at any polling station or collation center. The Electoral Commission must be impartial, and the judiciary must be fair and neutral in the event of any election.
Away from elections, let's do some legal matters where the National Democratic Congress NDC has taken its legal battle to the Secondary High Court, filing an application to secure Joanna Jan Kojo's place on the December 7 parliamentary ballot as its candidate for Amenfi Central. This legal move follows the dismissal of an earlier application by an Accra High Court in which the NDC sought to restrain the Electoral Commission from printing ballots and the notice of poll in defense of Kojo's eligibility. Speaking on ABC in the morning, NDC's Deputy Director of Communication, Election and IT, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, stated that the party is pursuing further legal actions at the Second High Court to overturn the existing injunction affecting Madam Joanna Kojo's candidacy. He added that the hearing, which is set for November 7 at the Second High Court, aims to vacate the injunction and pave the way for Madam Kojo's pictures to appear on the ballot paper. He emphasized that Joanna Kojo will not back out from campaigning and will win the elections.
As a party, we are saying that let's wait until November 7th, where we will take action on that, because our fate is on November 7th. Shortly after November 7th, the outcome of November 7th ruling at Secondary High Court will determine to us whether we will have a candidate or not. She's campaigning. I mean, why not? She's a candidate. Nothing has stopped her from campaigning. She's still our candidate. And the people love her. I'm telling you, if elections were held today, she would get no less than 90% of the valid votes. They like her. She's doing a lot in the constituency, and I can assure.
Meanwhile, Dr. Rashid Tanko has issued a stern warning to the Electoral Commission that it will not accept any automatic rearrangement of places on the ballot papers, regardless of the decision of the Ghana Freedom Party following the demise of its flag bearer, Ekuadonko.
We're not going to accept any automatic realignment of the ballot paper. We will not. We will not. That one is very clear. If they want a realignment, then we go for a fresh balloting. Then everybody's position will change. But to think that because Madam Donko died, you move her out and shift to other position, it won't happen. We told them, and they are aware. They know the position of NDC. This one, they were not going to back. Nobody to even come near us and bring that kind of crap. We have made it very clear. That is why we are saying, fine, they've asked the GFP to bring a candidate. If they bring a candidate, fair enough. Their candidate will take their place. If they don't bring a candidate, they can maintain the ballot paper as it is and cancel Ekuadonko when they are issuing out the ballot paper. But if they don't want to do that and they want to print.
You're reminded that we are your election poll center for comprehensive stories on election. Now, the founder and leader of the Movement for Change, Alan Tremontin, has pledged to stabilize the economy and reduce the exchange rate to below 5 cedis if elected as president. Now, during his mega victory walk in the Greater Accra region on 2nd November 2024, Mr. Tremontin voiced his dismay over the current economic challenges, emphasizing his commitment to the economic transformation that will address the country's inflation and exchange rate after the walk. Alan identified 4 major problems facing the nation to be unemployment, corruption, galamsey, and ailing economy. He assured the crowd that comprehensive solutions to these issues are embedded in the Great Transformational Plan, that's the GTP, positioning it as the pragmatic blueprint aimed at tackling the root causes of these challenges. Joining us on the line is the Deputy Director of Policy for the Movement for Change, Courage Noble. Good afternoon, Courage.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Thanks for joining us. Now, how will Alan bring down the exchange rates to below 5 cedis?
Thank you very much. Butterfly greetings to your listeners this afternoon. The Great Transformational Plan outlines a series of measures, solutions to the current high rates of exchange rates. And key among them is boosting local production and import substitution. You know, the Vice President is repeated to have said in 2016 that if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. The current level of the exchange rate only means that our fundamentals are weak. One of those fundamentals is import and export. Whenever your balance of payment is bad, whenever you are importing more than you are exporting, you are going to have a weak currency. It doesn't matter what country you're in. And that is why the Great Transformational Plan makes room for industrialization as its main policy. Through industrialization, we are now adding value to the raw materials that we export. The raw materials that we export, which gives us pittance. So by that, we are going to increase our export base. But this industrialization will not only tackle major traditional exports, but also non-traditional exports, such as yam, vegetables, and a host of flowers. We have a wonderful ecosystem that can grow flowers and export. So by boosting our exports, we are going to be able to attract more foreign exchange. Now, with the increased supply of dollars in the economy, the cedi will now become stronger.
Courage. I just also want to find out from you. Now, one would say that Alan has been part of this government that has brought the cedi rate to this level. How and why should we trust him that he can bring, the cedi down?
Anybody who has that question is confusing one thing, and that is confusing collective responsibility with individual accountability. The fact remains that, but for the successes of the One District, One Factory Teacher Land Champion, but for the 5 automobile assembly plants that are assembling cars in Ghana here, and many other policies which are land champion, exchange rate would have been far worse. But these are policies, even though without support from the government, that he championed and he was able to implement, that has kept it at where it is now. So what he's saying is that because he knows how to do it and how to do these things, he's going to mainstream issues of industrialization. Industrialization was not a priority of this government, but under an Alan Kyerema presidency, industrialization is going to be the priority. Apart from that, one of the major contributors to our exchange rate issues is food importation. So we have the National Agricultural Revolution, which is going to drastically, reduce our dependence on food imports. When you are having that and you are no longer importing tomatoes from Burkina Faso, you are no longer importing rice as you are doing now, you are no longer importing lots of the consumables, then you are going to have a stable currency and your exchange rate will come down. That aside,
Courage.
Yes, I'm with you.
Hello, can you hear me, Courage?
I'm with you.
Now, I just want to find out once again from you that what actually is making the movement for change have so much confidence that this is actually going to work, especially also that I asked that your candidate, your flag bearer, has been part of this government. And as you have explained, right now it's a different position altogether, but some also do align him with the NPP. So how is this implementation going to go?
I think it betrays logic if anybody wants to ask Alan Kyerema why we are importing food. If anybody wants to ask Alan Kyerema why we have insurgents, Islamic insurgents in the north. If anybody wants to ask Alan Kyerema,
the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, has reiterated his pledge to create millions of jobs if elected in Ghana's upcoming 2024 general election. Addressing a youth-focused event titled Engagement with the Youth on Sunday, November 3, Dr. Bawumia stressed that job creation and youth empowerment will be central to his administration, aiming to further Ghanaians' economy recovery and growth. Dr. Bawumia outlined his plans to implement business-friendly policies from January 2025, emphasizing that these initiatives are designed to stimulate economic growth across various sectors. These policies, he said, will serve a catalyst for job creation, promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and sustainable development.
The growth of the Ghanaian economy has been revised upwards to 4% for 2024 and higher in 2025. To put it into perspective, the economy grew by a mere 3.4% in 2016, the last year under President John Mahama. In fact, in 2025, Standard & Poor's is more buoyant with their forecast at 5.4%. I am even more optimistic that it is possible to do even more if, with your vote, you elect me as your next president and we implement and we implement my comprehensive business-friendly and job creation programs as outlined in the MPP.
Meanwhile, the flag bearer of the new patriotic party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has called on Ghanaian youth to repose their confidence in him come December 7th to do well for the country. Addressing a youth-focused event titled Engagement with the Youth, Dr. Bawumia urged Ghanaians, the Ghanaian youth, not to bring back John Dramani Mahama, who he described as a failed leader. He added that as vice president, he has done a lot for the country, and should he be elected on December 7, he will even do more for the country.
Economic environment is a prerequisite for decent and sustainable job creation. With our philosophy of economic liberalism, we believe it is our responsibility to create an enabling environment for the private sector, which we believe is our engine of growth to flourish. Among other things, a stable macroeconomic environment is paramount. My government will reduce the fiscal burden on government by leveraging the private sector. Under the two-term administration of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we have put in place many social safety nets, like free SHS, by leveraging the private sector. Under the two-term administration of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we have put in place many social safety nets, like free SHS, free TVET, and so on. With all these social safety nets in place, my government will now focus on jobs.
Joining us to have a conversation on this is Manasseh Atabwine. He is a communications team member for the NPP and the PRO for the Housing Ministry. Good afternoon, Manasseh.
A very good afternoon to you.
Thanks for joining us. Now, first of all, I just want to find out from you, what is new from the Bawumia's engagement, yesterday, from what he's been telling Ghanaians all this while?
Let me say a very good afternoon to our cherished viewers and listeners. Yesterday, I had Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia engaged the Ghanaian youth, and we had time to listen to our concerns. And it was a very beautiful program which was held at the Boteman Sport Complex. And youth across the 16 regions of Ghana gathered into the policies that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has for us, and also to be able to interact with him. What is special about the policies Dr. Bawumia outlined, for me, first has to do with the 1 million young people he is targeting to ensure he's able to provide some digital training for us, to ensure that even at the comfort of our homes, we are able to work with some factories and industries across the world, and that is very, very significant. Dr. Bawumia again mentioned that he is going to ensure that the collaboration between the public and private sector is well deepened, to ensure we have more factories and industries to be able to absorb the young people and to ensure we have a lot more jobs. He also mentioned that his government will ensure that about 3% of GDP, which amounts to some 30 billion Ghana cedis, is ceded to the private sector, to ensure that the private sector will take lead when it comes to development of infrastructure. And this will also ensure that the incidence of stalled projects, whether road projects or hospital projects, among others, will be a thing of the past. And once the private sector will be the one who will be facilitating these projects, it will be able to ensure that, again, a lot of young people are engaged, to ensure that going forward, the job wouldn't be a thing that will be difficult to find. Dr. Bawumia again mentioned that when you look at the railway... Yes, please, I can hear you.
Unfortunately, we just have to be fast with the questions, but I just want to know that one thing that actually has been worrying many Ghanaians is the state of the currency. What has Bawumia been saying so far in terms of solutions with regards to the depreciation of the cedi?
Right, so Dr. Bawumia has been clear in addressing the issue of the currency depreciation, and he mentioned that when you look at the pressure on the dollar, you would realize that in every month, the BDCs, the bulk oil distribution companies would need about $400 million to be able to import fuel products. And so he mentioned that he's going to beef up the gold for oil policy to ensure that going forward, we are able to have some more gold to be able to trade internationally and also to reduce the dependence on the dollar. Again, on the dollar issue, you realize that one thing that permeates all aspects of our economy has to do with the cost of fuel and the cost of transport fares. And that's why he mentioned that he's going to ensure that he will bring in a lot more electronic vehicles. And thankfully, today we see some electronic vehicles flying the streets of Accra. He's mentioned that under his administration, he will bring so many of these electronic vehicles to reduce the pressure on fuel products and by extension to reduce the pressure on the dollar, which is very, very instructive. And he's also mentioned that the Bank of Ghana's policy, which is the gold for reserve policy, will also be beefed up so that the cedi will be backed by gold to give it some more strength to ensure that going forward we have some more respite when it comes to the dollar issue. And so he has been very succinct when it comes to his measures being put in place to ensure that we are able to have the exchange rates dropping to appreciable levels.
Manasseh, what actually are the key voting factors, and was the Vice President able to touch on these areas?
Yeah, so on the dollar, the Vice President has mentioned that he's going to ease the pressure on the dollar by ensuring that one, we are able to have some more gold for oil policy, which will reduce the $400 million per month that will be demanded by the BDCs to bring in more oil. And so once that is done, it will reduce the excessive demand for dollar, which of course creates the hikes in the dollar prices. And he's also mentioned that on the fuel prices and even on the dollar, he's going to ensure that he's bringing in more electronic vehicles to ensure that we are able to have some more respite and also to reduce the pressure on the dollar as well.
Finally, I just want to find out from you, why must Ghanaians, even in the past 7 or 8 years now, still find confidence in the Bawumia administration?
Right. So Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been vice president. He hasn't been president before, but as vice president, he has been able to champion about 34 policies that are being implemented under this administration are all his brainchild. And so we are confident that going forward, when Ghanaians are able to give him the mandate, he'll be able to do more. You talk of the zip line, drone delivery services. You talk of the mobile money interoperability. You talk of the one district, one factory, one village, one dam, amongst others. And even very recently, the electronic vehicles, of which we are seeing are all part of his brainchild. The gold for oil policy, which has reduced the pressure on the dollar a little bit. And of course, the gold for reserves. All these are policies that were being thought through by him. And so we are confident that even as vice president, if he has been able to champion about 34 policies, given the mandate as president, we are confident he will be able to do a lot more to ensure that the 4 million jobs he mentioned yesterday will be something we'll be able to achieve, and to ensure that the young people will be very much included in his government, to ensure that going forward, when it comes to the issues of jobs, it will be a thing that young people will not struggle to find at all.
We are grateful so much for your time, Manasseh Atabuahin, Deputy.
Many thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. Our communications team member of the NPP and the PRO for the Housing Ministry. Away from politics and legal matters, let's do some health concern issue where the Ghana Health Service has reiterated its call on the general public to practice good hygiene following the rapid spread of cholera infection in parts of the country. According to health officials, good sanitary conditions within the communities will help contain the spread of the disease. The Owutu-Senya East Municipal Health Directorate in the Central Region is the latest to confirm 30 cases with 5 deaths recorded in the last few days. The Municipal Chief Executive of Owutu-Senya East, Anita Obola Misa, noted that the cases are increasing. She is hopeful it will slow down in the coming days. Meanwhile, the Ada East and West District lead with the disease hotspot, and the Ghana Health Service is intensifying awareness and education on health tips to stay clean and safe from infection using its social media handles. In a Facebook post using animation illustration, the general public is reminded that cholera anywhere is in the country is cholera everywhere. The service is scheduled to release an update on the cholera situation in the country in the coming days. Meanwhile, public health analyst Samuel Atta has called on the Ghana Health Service to declare a state of emergency to various measures can be put in place to deal with the cholera outbreak and prevent it from places with no cholera cases. He says this after Kaswa records 5 deaths due to the disease's outbreak.
It was declared in a matter of less than 24 hours. So what is stopping the WHO or WHO, I mean Country Office Ghana or the Ministry of Health in declaring a state of emergency, so we can begin to look at marshalling all efforts to areas where we've seen the outbreak spread, and then also quickly look at how we can hold any further spread in places where they are yet to have any infection. Something we need to look at and look at total. But let district health director, public health directors, community health, all of us, let's begin to look around. Let's flash the points. I know there's a sanitation app I may want to check, but there are a lot of things that are within the district that we need the district to communicate to community people. So people even can report where garbages are heaping, where stuff is going. But
Meanwhile, public health analyst Samuel Arthur has said that the outbreak of cholera is a result of the negligence and irresponsibility of stakeholders and individuals. He adds that public health officers must visit communities and markets to ensure there is sanity and hygiene environment. He said this on ABC in the morning.
To have cholera now, when just a couple of months ago, even till today, we have COVID levies that we pay. Meaning that COVID is something that we have to deal with. Look at the investments we made in COVID, the hand washing machines, the hand washing system, the various things that came with it, all the education and that, the funds that went into it. So we have forgotten about it so soon. Who is there to ensure that these behaviors are sustained? So we have civil society and other players in the sector who were put away and were not resourced and had to find their own money to do education. We have always been here, but how well have they been involved? So this is where we find ourselves. And all public promotion campaigns are largely financed by our donors. So when they are not around, something like cholera we still have, then there's a problem. Now, where are all the hand-washing buckets and bowls that were bought during the COVID era? Now, who was supposed to ensure that these things were maintained? So hygiene, personal hygiene with hand washing particularly, which is one way we could have avoided this deadly outbreak that we are talking about, to have dealt with.
Away from that, the Executive Director for Africa Center for Digital Transformation, Kwesi Etuahene, has stated that Ghanaians should prepare to pay more as we embrace the 5G network. Speaking earlier on ABC in the morning, Kwesi Etuahene explained that the infrastructural components and the tax system on production services make data expensive in Ghana. He bemoaned that the current public-private sector partnership with Next Geno Infacro Company Limited will rather make network services expensive, as telcos would have to buy the spectrum before they can provide services to the users.
The reason why data is expensive in Ghana is also because of the infrastructural component and the tax systems on these infrastructure and production services. That's what makes the data expensive in Ghana. But the same people who refuses to take up the initiative of building and making sure that the infrastructure is of public entities and the government owns them so that people can have access and it can be cheap, will privatize it, and afterwards the data would have to be expensive because MTN and the others would have to buy from Next Geno Infacro and also resell. It will be expensive, definitely. So Ghanaians should also prepare, and especially you should prepare as the 5G network is being rolled so that you can be able to have access. But I can assure you that the data pricing of
Meanwhile, Kwesi Etuahini also stated that most Ghanaians will have to change phones in order to access the 5G network. He further explained that most Ghanaians do not use smartphones and the newly launched 5G network won't be accessible on such phones. He said some will have to change phones in order to access the 5G network.
Our big concern is the preparation before the launch. Because now that you have launched it, presumably you are ready to execute it. Now, what is our preparation technically to get it executed so that the people of Ghana can benefit from such innovations in terms of infrastructure and the cost component thereof, in terms of devices compatibility? Quite a number of Ghana, if you have a statistics, you realize that very few of us use very, very modern phones in terms of smartphones. You know, few Ghanaians may have been using their phones 2 years, 3 years, 5 years ago, and there are a chunk of Ghanaians who don't even use smartphones. All right, so if you have launched 5G, it means that those who are already using some kind of phones would have to now buy new phones that matches with the services you intend to run so that they can benefit from.
Let's go for a quick break. We're back with some business stories to stay.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia #1 on the ballot.
All be lie.
Thank you, boss. See you next week. Yo, where is my passport? Where is my passport? Yo, man, I want to Waba.
What is that, Maba?
And then it's special.
Give me my passport.
Relax.
Relax. You made me pay for express for 24 hours, and yet it's not in.
You told me that you are telling me this. What's going on? Hello.
This man here has taken my money. That within 24 hours, he'll do my passport for me.
Oh, see, that's the same thing applies to me. He told me last night. He's telling me this week. Process. That's what they do. Yeah. Oh, madam. Please relax. I'll get for you in 24 hours.
Hey, Goroma. So you never change? Eh? You get passport for someone within 24 hours, Madam Obwa. See, the normal working hours is 9 to 5. Eh? Not 24 hours, yeah, I'm fat. I'm fat. You guys have made a very big mistake by trusting these people. Now, through digitalization, passport application has been made so easy. Now, you don't need to stress yourself and join any long queue for your passport. All you have to do is to log on to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and begin your application. By buying a passport application voucher online. Simple and easy. And very soon, all you need to get your passport will be your Ghana card.
What is it true?
Yeah, Obisa. It is possible.
You yourself, I didn't know this. I feel officer.
Come on. Come on.
Let's do some business news where independent power producer Sonun Asogli Power Ghana Limited has reported that it has not received any part of the $30 million directed by the Ministry of Finance for release of the Controller and Accountant General's Department, despite government assurances. This follows Sonun Asogli's recent shutdown of its 560 megawatt power plant due to an outstanding debt of $259 million owed by the Electricity Company of Ghana. Dr. Elikplim Abatopo, Business Development Manager at Sonun Asogli Power Ghana Limited, in an interview explained that efforts to settle the debt in installment have not yet produced any tangible result. He said, quoting, "We received notification from the Controller and Accountant General's Department in the first week of our shutdown. They informed us that the Ministry of Finance authorized them to pay us $30 million, but they are having some challenges. It was in the week of salary payments, and they have to split this payment into 5 or 6 tranches. We are in November and not even one tranche has been received, but the assurance was that they will try and pay the trench in the few weeks to come on the end of October, unquote. Now, the company disclosed that ECG owes a net receivable of $259 million excluding fuel, as of the end of September 2024. And despite Southern Assembly's decision not to invoice ECG for ideal capacity, the debt owed has increased by 23% between January and September 2024, with only 22.6% of the invoices for the period settled through the cash waterfall mechanism. Isifu Isaka, the president of the Cocoa Farmers Corporation Union, says that the premium and various unions received are used to cater for their incentives and other farming activities. Hence, a percentage cannot be taken off their premium. His petitions comes after Cocoa Board wrote to some of the Cocoa Farmers Union that a percentage of their premium would be given to Cocoa Board to take care of other activities. He said this on ABC in the morning.
Sometime now, though the price of cocoa have been increasing, but it doesn't have a clear impact on the living condition of cocoa farmers. And some months ago, Cocoa Board wrote to some of the cocoa farmers unions, LBCs, directing them that there are premiums that these unions receive from their buyers, that is the off-takers in the international, the chocolate making companies. They have a system that they ensure that at the end of the day they get a sustainable beans. And through that sustainability practice, you have to go through some standards and compliance. And at the end of the day, you have.
Meanwhile, the president of the Cocoa Farmers Cooperative, Isifu Isaka, has cast a dark prediction on Ghana's cocoa sector. He says the future of the cocoa sector in Ghana does not look as good as the sector have been bedeviled with the challenges. According to him, cocoa production keeps declining due to climate change and human activities, as well as the unavailability of some incentives.
Continue to experience a decline in your production, where you don't see an increase in production, but the production of cocoa continue to decline. It tells you that some systems are not right. As we attribute some of the factors to climate change, and even the incentives for farmers is also low, because if you compare Ghana now to other Ghana, our cocoa bean is treated as the qualitiest or the premium cocoa in the world. But as we speak now, cocoa farmers in Nigeria are receiving more than 7,000 per 64 kilogram of cocoa. Cocoa farmers in Togo are receiving more than 7,000 Ghana cedis. Nigeria are receiving 7,000 Ghana cedis. The same.
We're back with some sports news Tuesday. Arsenal's high-regarded sporting director is set to leave the club. Edu has been instrumental in transforming Arsenal's fortunes under Mikel Arteta, playing a key role in recruiting top players and reinforcing the squad to challenge the titles. Edu's departure comes as a surprise to Arsenal, with no clear indication of his next destination. However, there are rumors that he has been in the talks with Nottingham Forest owner, that's Avenios Marquinhos, who owns a group of clubs including Forest, Olympiacos and Rio Ave, about a potential role overseeing these clubs. As supporters and of course supporting director, Edu has been responsible for overseeing all academy activities in addition to his exiting responsibilities. His promotion to the role in November 2022 marked a significant milestone in his career, and his departure will undoubtedly be felt by Mikel Arteta. Away from sports, we're back with some international stories. international news, 29 minors in Nigeria have been arraigned and charged with 10 felony counts, including treason, destruction of property, public disturbance, and mutiny by participating in protest against the country's record cost of living crisis. The development has sparked widespread outrage and concern over the potential application of the death penalty, which is a serious violation of children's human rights. In August, at least 20 people were shot dead and hundreds more were arrested at a protest demanding better opportunities and jobs for young people. Akin Tayo Balongun, a private lawyer based in Abuja, has pointed out that the Children's Rights Act does not allow any child to be subject to criminal proceedings and sentenced to death. This raises serious legal concern and questions the Nigerian government's commitment to upholding international human rights standards. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, a Nigerian human rights group, has called on President Bola Tinubu to release the minors within the next 48 hours and investigate the circumstances surrounding the grave violation of the human rights of the children. And Amnesty International also has condemned the minors' horrifying detention and called it one of the deadliest attempts to suppress freedom of assembly so far. Let's wrap up the bulletin with some entertainment news. Entertainment, Ghanaian actress Jackie Appiah has been recognized by her outstanding performance in the movie Red Carpet by winning the Best Actress in Leading Role award at the 2024 African Movie Academy Award. Appiah's journey with the Amas began in 2007 when she won her first award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Beyoncé. She has since received consistent nominations over the years, including for Princess Diana in 2008 and Red Carpet in 2024. Now, beyond Amas, Appiah's talent has earned her numerous accolades, including Best Actress at the 2010 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Award, the Ghana Movie Award, and Pan-African Actress of the Year at the African Nigerian Entertainment Awards in 2011. The recognition at the 2024 Amas celebration celebrates Appiah's impactful career and her contribution to African cinema, inspiring both fans and aspiring actors across the continent. Congratulations once again to Screen Goddess Jackie Appiah for this recognition. That's how we wrap the show here on ABC Midday. I am Eric Chunibwa Melo. Do want to follow us on YouTube, ABC News GH, as well as visit our website www.abcnewsgh for more content. Have a good afternoon.
village managers and professionals to upgrade their skills as well as transition from the traditional roles to be able to operate in the new normal. In all these, society is reminded to ensure that library structures and environment itself will have to evolve to provide an enabling and conducive environment to support such services. Our world today continues to experience the worst and negative impact of climate change. This has been a great source of challenge globally. Green Library encompasses a variety of practices and philosophies aimed at reducing environmental impact. It is designed to operate in harmony with nature, employing sustainable practices that ensure our actions today do not compromise the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. A green library integrates environmentally friendly principles in its structures and operations. These include the use of natural, recycled, and locally sourced materials, energy-efficient lighting, optimized cooling systems, and careful resource management. Although Ghana has 17 legislations on the environment, the Green Library has 5,000 legislations in electronic copies from all over the world. A list of MPhil theses from 2001 to 2020 from institutions on environment and sanitation. Sustainability is paramount. It encapsulates not just our environmental responsibilities, but also our economic and social obligations. A well-designed green library serves as a beacon of consciousness, making it possible to endorse eco-friendly practices while providing access to information and resources that empower the community. In the broader context of the green building movement, libraries like ours are uniquely positioned to lead by example. They represent a societal commitment to sustainable development, giving communities a space that is both a sanctuary of knowledge and a model of ecological responsibility. And as the call for institutions to adopt sustainable practices to reduce this challenge, the Parliament of Ghana, in line with the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs, particularly those of SDG 3, 9, 11, 12, 13, and 15, embarked on this initiative to create awareness and provide information to assist with decision-making by legislators. And as part of its transformative drive, the Green Library Initiative, using the 4R principles, namely reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover, to protect the environment and prevent land pollution. As we embrace this initiative, we are not merely creating spaces for reading and learning, we are fostering a culture of sustainability. By integrating these principles into our institutions, we work towards a future where environmental awareness is second nature to every citizen. The Green Library will stand as a reminder to everyone that each one of us has a role to play in caring for the environment, and that by making sustainable choices, we are investing in the health of our individual lives and our community. Members of Parliament, staff, civil society, researchers, academics, students, schools, and the youth are all welcome to the Green Library each week for an intriguing and insightful experience.
Thank you very much. So there's a lot to show you when we get up there. But at this point, I would like you to just pull your phone. Just pull your cell phone wherever you are. Just pull your cell phone. We're going to conduct this very brief exercise. You would find on the screen the QR code. Just go to your camera and just point your phone to this QR code. And then you will find an evaluation form. We would like all of you to fill that form. We want to know how best we can serve you the better. As this Parliament, the Right Honourable Speaker has always maintained, is for the people. And it is for the people that this Parliament exists. I would want to, at this point, acknowledge the presence of key notable civil society organizations with us today. And I would like to start with Send Ghana. Send Ghana, wherever you are, let's see you. Send Ghana. Okay, thank you very much, representatives from Send Ghana. We also have Budget Ghana. Budget Ghana. Budget Ghana are also here. Thank you. We have the Ghana Library Authority. Representatives from the Ghana Library Authority would like to say thank you for coming. PN Africa. PN Africa. PN Africa. Thank you. Thank you so much. The Institute for Democratic Governance, IDEC. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have in our midst the Member of Parliament for Ladade Kotopon constituency, the Honorable Rita Odole Sowa, also here with us. Thank you so much for coming, Honorable. At this point, I would like to invite Miss Ketri Esirajesi to give us a vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I am tasked to propose the, let me just hold it. I'm tasked to propose the vote of thanks. And so on behalf of the Planning Committee, I'd like to express a heartfelt vote of thanks to all of you present. I also want to give a special mention to the chairman, who's already left, but I'll still acknowledge him. His speech resonated very well with me, especially when he mentioned that an institution is as good as the quality of information that they provide. So I believe that following this, we will do well with the information that we provide and be a better institution for Mother Ghana. And I also would like to acknowledge the deputy clerks here, the guest speaker, and Honorable Emmanuel Kwasi Bejira. He is the chairman of the Open Government Caucus, Open Government Partnership Caucus, which has been focusing on making Parliament open, inclusive, and accountable to the people of Ghana for the benefit of all of us. I would also like to acknowledge the members of the Open Government Partnership present. I saw Honorable Dafia Mepo, I think he stepped out. I'll also acknowledge Honorable Rita Na Odedo Soa, who is the MP for La Dade Kotopon. I will also acknowledge the presence of the CSOs here, especially Parliamentary Network Africa, for their unflinching support over the years and even their guidance in making this program a success with the logistics and all of the services that they could provide for us. Again, I could also not end this without thanking the volunteers and the Planning Committee. We have done a very yeoman's job, and I think that we need to be acknowledged. Last and least of all, to all of us here, I'd like to also appreciate us for our cooperation and for being here. And I would also want you to know that your voices, your ideas, and the energies are the heart of this Open Parliament and the Information Management Services Week. And this event is as much yours as it is ours, and we look forward to an active participation in the days to come. So once again, thank you for your presence and support, and let's make this week a very powerful step to building a more open and accountable Parliament for us all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would also want to thank myself for such a wonderful MC in this morning. I think that I deserve a better round of applause. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, God willing, at 9:30 a.m., the Open Parliament Seminar is going to take place right here in this hall. The Open Parliament Seminar is going to take place right here in this hall. And would like to invite as many of you to join us tomorrow for that that seminar tomorrow. There's going to be a lot that you're going to learn, and I'd want to encourage all of you to be here with us for that session. When we leave here, there are two places we're going to go to. First of all, we'll go to the library. We showed you a clip of what to expect when you go to the Green Library. And so we'll all move. There's on the same floor, right? The same floor, right? So from the library, then we'll descend to the ground floor, to the MP's dining hall, where the exhibition has actually been mounted. There's a lot for you to take with you when you're going back to your respective homes. And so please don't be in a hurry to go. I indicated to you that there is item 13. We're going to have a group photograph outside. So when we leave, let's all gather ourselves properly for that session. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to invite Alhaji Abdullahi Isahaku Al-Hassan to give us the closing prayer. Is Alhaji around? Okay, please, let's clap for Alhaji as he comes. I normally see my Alhajis in Jalabia, so I was a little confused. I hope that all of you were successful with the evaluation. How many of you had challenge with your phones? Okay, so I take it that everybody was able to go through. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's pray. Almighty Allah, thank you for our lives today. We are grateful to you for this honor, and we glorify you for steering the affairs of this gathering to a successful end. We acknowledge your blessings, and we pray that you will be with us for the rest of the days of the program. We pray for peace and prosperity for our nation and its citizens. Bless the parliamentary service, and particularly the Information Management Services Division. We also call for the blessings for blessings for the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, leadership of Parliament, members, staff of the service, our guests and sponsors who are here to support us. In your mighty name we pray. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
So thank you very much. We'll all move out now for the photo session, and then we will go to the Green Library. Shall we all remain standing wherever we are? Please remain standing wherever you are. Remain standing wherever you are. Don't move yet. Don't move yet. Remain standing wherever you are. Let our dignitaries take the lead, and then we can all follow. Remain standing wherever you are. Thank you very much, our dear friend from PN Africa. Sami, we're so grateful you came, and we believe that there's a lot we can do. I believe all the camera guys have positioned themselves already outside. Okay, so there are two exits. You can choose which of the exits you're most comfortable with. I thank you all very much for coming, and God bless you all.
The lunch is on the second floor. Yes, second floor, not third floor. It's on the second floor. So, in the absence of any other business, may somebody move? Yes, movement for adjournment, yes?
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, having done justice to the agenda of this summit, I hereby move that this summit be adjourned. Senator, I so move.
Any seconder? Moved by Nigeria, seconded by Gambia. Those in favor of the adjournment, Togo wants to say something. So we arrest the motion. Then I listen to Togo. Yes, please. Any other business? Or you are tearing the motion?
Ah là là, j'ai perdu le truc. Bon, je vais y aller. Monsieur le Président, chers collègues, distingués participants, je voudrais, permettez-moi, rendre grâce à Dieu de nous avoir permis de nous retrouver et de finir cette réunion tous en santé, en paix. Tout s'est bien passé. Je vous apporte les salutations fraternelles de votre collègue Sévon Koldjo Adedje, qui a insisté pour que je puisse vous transmettre ses félicitations, et à tout le comité exécutif pour votre élection pour ce premier mandat. Il vous félicite également d'avoir porté cette réunion vers des fruits escomptés et souhaite longue vie et un futur brillant à notre organisation. Personnellement, je voudrais vous remercier pour l'accueil chaleureux dont nous avons fait l'objet depuis que nous sommes arrivés dans votre belle capitale, en souhaitant à tous un bon retour chez vous et à très bientôt.
Yes, Côte d'Ivoire.
Oui. Nous soutenons la motion qui a été faite et au nom du président Adama Bitogo, que vous connaissez bien, nous voudrions, et la présidente Kandia Kamara du Sénat de Côte d'Ivoire, je voudrais en leur dire merci au président Alban et à toutes les autorités ghanéennes, à tous ces collaborateurs qui ont bien voulu nous recevoir dans ces somptueux hôtels. Nous voulons à leur nom dire merci pour l'accueil qui nous a été réservé, qui ne nous surprend pas. Merci pour toutes les commodités qui nous ont été offertes pendant notre séjour. Le président Bitogo vous dit ses sincères félicitations pour votre brillante élection, et nous, avec lui, nous vous exprimons notre admiration pour le brio avec lequel les débats ont été menés. Nous sommes admiratifs de tout ce que nous avons vu ici, et nous nous joignons à tous les autres qui vous expriment leur soutien. Merci et à très bientôt.
Yes, thank you so much. I had no other option than to serve you from the bottom of my heart and with all my strength. We need to go beyond the normal to ensure that this bouncing baby is not stillbirth, but survives, prospers, and yields unlimited fruits to the people of our dear continent, Africa. So I assure you of my complete commitment and loyalty to the conference. I thank all of you for coming, and I will adopt the motion that has been moved and seconded. Yes, Democratic Republic of Congo.
Merci, Monsieur le Président et chers collègues présidents de l'Assemblée nationale du Ghana. Je voudrais emboîter les pas au Togo et à la Côte d'Ivoire pour vous dire sincèrement merci d'avoir été accueillis, moi-même et ma délégation, dans ces pays de Kwame Nkrumah. Donc, le peuple congolais, pays de Lumumba, vous salue et salue le peuple ghanéen. Nous disons merci à tous les collègues présidents des chambres qui sont ici présents, qui ont aussi surmonté des petites divergences pour adopter notre constitution aujourd'hui qui va guider la conférence des présidents des parlements africains. Puisque quand nous disons que nous allons préserver, protéger cette constitution, ce n'est pas, puisque les mots se ressemblent, il ne faut pas que les gens pensent que nous sommes en train de parler des constitutions de nos pays respectifs. Il s'agit de la constitution de la conférence des présidents. Et nous disons aussi merci d'avoir accepté les 2 amendements de la République démocratique du Congo qui ont été inscrits dans cette constitution et qui mettent comme matière essentielle et préalable au développement le rétablissement de la paix, de la sécurité pour aller finalement vers une Afrique que nous voulons. De l'Afrique du Sud jusqu'au Maroc, Algérie, Tunisie, Libye, de Kenya jusqu'en Mauritanie et du Congo jusqu'ici au Ghana, en Côte d'Ivoire et Nigeria. Et ensemble, nous pouvons, par étapes et par sous-région et région, aller vers l'Afrique qui parle un même langage, qui a des politiques concertées et une vision. Nos populations sont en train de mourir, pas parce que l'agresseur vient de l'extérieur. L'agresseur est africain et l'agressé est africain. Donc on nous prend parfois pour des idiots, alors que nous pouvons nous entendre et partager cette richesse africaine au niveau de sa population, sa jeunesse, ses ressources naturelles. Et moi je crois à une Afrique qui va s'élever et qui va marcher effectivement. Vous avez dit que vous êtes le cœur de l'Afrique, vous êtes le cœur de la démocratie, mais géographiquement, France Fanon avait dit que l'Afrique ressemble à un revolver dont la gâchette se trouve au Congo, le cœur de l'Afrique. Et je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
I think we will have to end the comments here. Or you see one to Algeria? Yes.
Just for say again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations for you and for Mr. Secretary General. Thank you, Ghana, and thanks for all the African legislature. I hope a good future for Gospel and for Africa. Thank you again.
Yes,
Mr.
Maroc.
Speaker. Okay.
Maroc.
Merci. Excellence, Monsieur Albin Bagbin, président du COSPAL et du Parlement du Ghana, très honorable président des chambres parlementaires, chers collègues, mesdames et messieurs, en vos qualités et en vos titres. C'est avec un grand plaisir que nous prenons part aux travaux de la deuxième Assemblée générale de la conférence des présidents des assemblées législatives africaines et qu'il me soit également permis d'adresser mes remerciements les plus sincères à nos hôtes et aux autorités de la République du Ghana pour l'excellente organisation de cette importante rencontre. J'aimerais, par la même occasion, vous transmettre les chaleureuses salutations de son Excellence, M. Rachid Talbi Alami, président de la Chambre des représentants, qui aurait tant aimé partager ce moment exceptionnel avec les très honorables Africains. Malheureusement, il n'a pas été en mesure d'effectuer ce déplacement en raison du calendrier législatif marocain. Mesdames et messieurs, la question de la recherche d'une paix durable est au cœur du système international contemporain. En effet, celle-ci est toujours la plus grande préoccupation de la gouvernance mondiale depuis la création de l'ONU en 1945, qui en fait son but ultime et sa mission principale, les gouvernements du monde entier ainsi que les différents organismes internationaux sont alors appelés à contribuer à cette quête de paix durable. Le terme paix est omniprésent sur la charte des Nations Unies. La paix est aussi le 16e élément des objectifs du millénaire pour le développement des Nations Unies. Toutefois, la réalité des choses a démontré au fil du temps les limites de cette gouvernance mondiale et les défis qui persistent en matière de paix et de sécurité internationale. Les conflits qui durent et perdurent, les multiples atteintes aux droits de l'homme, la problématique du changement climatique, etc. Face à cette réalité, la nécessité d'avoir de nouveaux acteurs a commencé à se faire sentir au fur et à mesure. Ainsi, on a assisté à l'émergence de nouveaux organismes étatiques et non étatiques et qui se sont vus attribuer un rôle dans cette gouvernance mondiale de la paix et de développement dont le besoin s'est accru à cause de la pandémie Covid-19. Dans ce même ordre d'idées, le rôle des parlements ne peut être négligé pour pallier les défaillances et les limites du système de gouvernance mondial actuel. En tant qu'incarnation de la volonté des peuples et le prolongement naturel des organisations politiques et syndicales, les parlements nationaux, d'un côté, et les organisations interparlementaires de l'autre, sont devenus des acteurs majeurs, contribuant à leur manière afin d'insuffler une nouvelle dynamique. L'amalgame et l'imbrication des problèmes nationaux et internationaux est une vérité aujourd'hui, qu'on ne peut plus nier. Tout ce qui affecte le monde de manière générale peut impacter la stabilité et la paix dans une région donnée et vice-versa. Le Parlement marocain participe activement dans les différentes enceintes et forums internationaux, promouvant la paix et le développement en nouant des liens forts et étroits avec les différentes institutions interparlementaires, poursuivant des objectifs communs. L'action de la Chambre des représentants en tant que telle ou de certains de ses membres dans le cadre des assemblées internationales multilatérales ou bilatérales accompagne et complète la diplomatie gouvernementale. Il s'impose de plus en plus comme une nécessité impérieuse au regard du développement des démocraties dans le monde et de la tendance croissante d'équilibre des pouvoirs qui accorde des prérogatives plus importantes aux assemblées élues. Mesdames et messieurs, notre continent est dans l'immense besoin aujourd'hui de nos efforts collectifs afin de lutter contre les défis de la conjoncture mondiale complexe actuelle. La participation au lancement de cette honorable organisation parlementaire témoigne de l'ancrage pacifiste de la diplomatie marocaine, mettant en avant la contribution de notre royaume qui a toujours joué un rôle crucial dans la défense des valeurs de paix, de tolérance au niveau mondial et prônait sans cesse le règlement pacifique des différends, la lutte contre le terrorisme et l'extrémisme, la promotion des valeurs de paix, de tolérance et de coexistence et l'appui au développement dans toutes ses dimensions. À cet effet, Sa Majesté le roi Mohamed VI a lancé l'initiative atlantique en faveur des pays du Sahel, qui représente la vision royale ayant pour objectif de renforcer l'accès des pays du Sahel à l'océan Atlantique dans le but de faire de l'Afrique un continent prospère, concrétisant ainsi la coopération sud-sud basée sur un partenariat gagnant-gagnant. Cette initiative a été concrétisée lors de la réunion ministérielle de coordination sur l'initiative internationale.
Point of order, please. This is a parliament. A motion has been moved and adopted. The meeting starts adjourned. Somebody cannot be addressing us. This is a parliament.
C'est pas élégant de votre part, Monsieur le Président. C'est indigne de la part d'un président, monsieur. C'est indigne, monsieur. Et je continue mon discours, Monsieur le Président. Cette initiative a été concrétisée lors de la réunion ministérielle de coordination sur l'initiative internationale du roi Mohamed VI, visant à faciliter l'accès des pays du Sahel à l'océan Atlantique. J'aimerais en guise de conclusion de réitérer l'appui inconditionnelle de la Chambre des représentants à cette initiative louable qui a pour objectif ultime la prospérité des peuples africains et la consolidation de l'action parlementaire commune africaine, tout en souhaitant plein succès à vos travaux. Merci.
Thank you so much. I take the last is it comments or?
Yes, brief comment.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I, on behalf of Sierra Leone, wish to, and not Kenya.
The country of lions.
Wish to thank you profusely. Wish to thank Ghana through you profusely for hosting this meeting. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on your election by this assembly and to state clearly that you have the full support of Sierra Leone and I believe other African countries. You know, I have so much trust in you. You know, by the simple way that you steered this entire meeting up to its conclusion, I know within the 3 years you are going to work wonders for this organization. And of course, with your able Secretary General, I am pretty sure that we'll arrive exactly where we want to go in 3 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, honorable colleagues, distinguished members. Our guiding principle is the global mantra, leaving nobody behind. To get democracy going, vibrant, and being responsive, there must be discipline, there must be patience, there must be tolerance, there must be accommodation of our diversity. Everybody must be part and parcel so that we'll be able to address the interests of all. So sometimes you are compelled to go the extra mile. And this is what has happened. But it's important that you also show that something is going amiss. That is part of it. And so I acknowledge all what has happened, and I will gladly take this opportunity to thank all of you. Before I put the question, I want to thank all of you for not just coming, for the focus and active participation in what has taken place. It's a great signal, a sign that members are really committed to making sure that this time around we succeed in getting Africa on the right path. So I thank all of you for that. And on your behalf, I want to thank the initiators, the founding fathers of the organization, the conference. And they came from all the 5 regions, from Southern Africa to North Africa, from West Africa to East Africa, and from Central Africa. I happen to know all of them because we worked together. And therefore, from then on, the technical committee, the secretariat, and all those who supported us in organizing this conference, we say thank you for what you have done. I'm using this as my concluding remarks. And after that, I just put the question and we call it a day. We thank the security. They have done so well, and I can assure you Ghana is secure. If you live here, you can go anywhere you want, enjoy yourself. And as I said, if you want us to pay extra nights for you, we'll pay for you to stay and see the historic sites. So we thank you all for coming. Ghana here, the Muslims marry the Christians marry the Muslims. We don't change the religion. You can marry from east to west, and you can marry from north to south. You can marry from the sea to the Sahara Desert. There's no problem at all. We live together in peace and unity. It's rare in other parts of the world that a Muslim can marry a Christian and he will still be a Muslim and you also be a Christian. I say it's rare. It's not only in Ghana. It means it's other places. I'm not too sure about some parts of Nigeria because I know Nigeria very well. Not all parts of Nigeria. Yes. So we're grateful for your coming, and I'm sure don't just make it only for this time around. Anytime you are coming, just draw our attention. We'll receive you, we'll welcome you. We will definitely be proud to host you again. I thank you all for the honor you've done to Ghana and my good self for the trust you repose in us. And I know the Almighty God will take all of you safely back to your countries and to your beloved families. Amen. With this, I put the question. Those in favor of the adjournment sine die of this conference, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The conference, by your authority, is adjourned indefinitely, and in Latin, sine die. That conference is adjourned. Now we start and we end with the prayer. This time around, can we have it in French? French language from a Christian country. Togo, yes, it was a gentleman, and therefore it's good to have a beautiful lady and with the closing prayer in French.
Seigneur Dieu, nous te remercions d'avoir été parmi nous depuis le début de cette rencontre jusqu'à sa fin. Nous te remercions de nous avoir portés, d'avoir éclairé nos décisions. Et nous espérons avec foi que nous irons tous chez nous retrouver nos familles et que tu nous protégeras, tu accompagneras cette belle organisation que tu as permis à l'homme imparfait que nous sommes de créer. Au nom de toutes les personnes présentes ici, Seigneur, nous te disons merci. Merci pour tout ce que tu as fait. Merci pour ce que tu feras. Amen.
Merci beaucoup, Temam. Thank you so much. Well done. Wish you all an enjoyable stay and lunch, and then smooth, comfortable flight back home. Extend our greetings to all of our brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. We would have a group photo of the new executives. A group photo of the new executives. A group photo of the new executives. We'll do that right here in the hall. A group photo of the new executives. All those who took the oath. Yes, we'll do that right.
important to the youth of this country. Oti region, Volta region, Greater Accra region, Ashanti region, Northeast region, Savannah region, Bono region, Bono East region, Ahafo region, Western North region, and ladies and gentlemen, Greater Accra, Greater Accra, Greater Accra, Greater Accra. Let's hear the cheer for the incoming president. 7th January 2025, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Please, let's be seated. Please, let's be seated. Let's all be seated. We are live on every single TV channel you can think of in this country. And we are live on every radio station you can think of this evening. Tonight, we have 16 locations. We have one speaker, the man that is inspiring the young person of this country to dream and aspire to greater things. We have in this auditorium 1,000 young people, and across the country we have seated and participating in this engagement young people in each of the 16 regions. Please, let's all find seats and sit. We don't want to see anybody standing and lingering around. Please, let's all get into the stands, and please, let's be seated. Nobody should be standing here, please. Let's all get off the auditorium. Let's find a seat and let's be seated. At this juncture, we call the program to order, and I will invite Tabitha to give us the opening prayer. Please put your hands together for Tabitha. Let's welcome Tabitha to give us the opening prayer.
Thank you. Good evening. Kukrudu. Kukrudu. Are the youth here? Let me use this opportunity to say good evening to our incoming president, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. And a good evening to all Ghanaians watching us everywhere. Please, let's bow our heads and pray. Our Father who art in heaven, we are grateful unto you for today. We thank you for bringing the youth of Ghana together to listen to what our future president has for us. Our Father, we know that you have chosen him at the right time to come and rescue the youth of today. If there is any time that we will need the services of the vice president, then it is today. Because for the fourth revolution, we need a leader that can help the youth to take advantage of whatever is happening in this fourth revolution. And so we pray that he's coming to talk to us. May you touch the hearts of all listeners so that they will understand, so that on the 7th of December, we will all cast our votes to make him the next president of Ghana. In Jesus' name, I have prayed with thanksgiving. Amen.
Thank you, Tabitha. This is an innovation. This is another new that has been put together by Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. We have in this auditorium 1,000 young people, and guess what? We have close to over 2,000 young people joining us and participating in various locations and real time across the country. Please put your hands together to the innovative vice president. Tonight, the conversation is about you, the young person. The conversation is about the future of the youth of this country. The conversation is about jobs and more jobs for the young persons of this country. We need your utmost attention, your utmost participation. This is an engagement. This is a conversation. And we are all going to have an opportunity to take part in this conversation and contribute to the engagement. At this juncture, we are here in the Greater Accra region where the Vice President is seated with us. But the good news is that all the regions across the country are also part of us. And so I mentioned the region, and all of us here will acknowledge them. Shall we start from the Volta region? Volta region, are you there? Volta region, please put your hands together. Volta region. Volta region. OT region. OT region. OT region. OT region. Upper East region. Please let's acknowledge Upper East region. Upper East region. Upper East region. Upper East region. Nicely seated in their very comfortable seats. Northeast region. Northeast region. Please acknowledge Northeast region. You can see Northeast region beautifully seated, ready to listen to the man who means business and the man who means jobs for the people of Ghana. Northern region. Northern region. Please let's acknowledge Northern region. Savannah region. Okay, Northern region is pulled up. Please put your hands together for Northern region. Northern region is joining us all the way from Tamale. Savannah region. Is that Savannah region I see there? Savannah region. Please acknowledge Savannah region. Please acknowledge Savannah region. Bono East region. Please pull up Bono East region. Let's acknowledge Bono East region. Please put your hands together for Bono East region. Here they are. Bono East region is ready to hear the Vice President and the future President, the incoming President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Do we have Bono region? Bono region, please pull up. Please put your hands together for the Bono region. Energy, 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 energy. Energy from Sunyane. All the way from Sunyane joining us in this conversation. Shall we have Ahafo region? Ahafo region. Ahafo region. Please pull up Ahafo region. And let's acknowledge Ahafo region. Shall we have West? Okay, Ahafo region is here. Please put your hands together for Ahafo region. That right there is a digital region. Each of them are seated behind a computer. Please put your hands together for Ahafo region. Each of them seated behind computers. You can see them, the digital region, Ahafo region. Thank you very much, Ahafo. Please put your hands together for Western North region. Shall we see Western North region right now? Western North region. Please pull up Western North region and let's acknowledge them. Western North region all the way from Asankregwa. That's Western region. Western region from Asankregwa. Please put your hands together for Western region from Asankregwa. That is Western region for you. Please acknowledge Western region. Shall we have Central region or the 15 regions? I want to be sure. Eastern region. Koforidia, are you there? Koforidia, are you there? Koforidia all the way from the Baka Hotel. Please pull up Koforidia Eastern region so we can acknowledge them. Shall we have Eastern region on our screens now? Eastern region. We are still seeing Upper West region. So please show the love, more love for Upper West region. More love for Upper West region. Yes, yes, energy. Upper West, we see you, we see you, we see you. Upper West, we see you. The last region we have is Eastern region. But before Eastern region comes, shall we see the Ashanti region? Please, let's give it up for Ashanti. Ashanti. Ashanti with your beautiful Ghana flags. Beautiful Ghana flags. Ashanti region, are you there? Ashanti region right there with your beautiful Ghana flags. Young, hopeful people in Ashanti region with so much confidence. that we are getting a president that is going to lead us into the future. Please give it up for Ashanti region. Their energy is plenty. Ashanti, we see you. Ashanti, we see you. Ashanti, we see you. Thank you very much. Now, the last region we haven't seen on the screen yet is Eastern region. If we don't see Eastern region, I cannot go home. So please make sure we see Eastern region so I can go home. But until then, Mr. Vice President, incoming President, you have seated across this country thousands and thousands of young people ready to listen to you. And behind the screens and the computers and the TVs and the radio stations in their cars, in the pubs, in the lounges, and in their offices are millions and millions and millions of youth of this country who are counting on your leadership to take Ghana to the next level into the future. And they believe that whatever it is that you promise them, it is possible. It is. We are in the Adenta constituency, and so please let's put our hands together as we welcome the Deputy CEO of the National Youth Authority and the parliamentary candidate for the Adenta constituency, Akosia Menu. Akosia Menu. Please put your hands together for Akosia Menu as she takes the podium, please. Put your hands together for Akosia Menu. Please put your hands together for Akosia Menu.
Oh, I keep hearing voices reading, asking me do I trust them, really. Better is Adira, he said, we not giving no greater, no giving no greater. Hosanna getting here, Hosanna getting here, Hosanna getting here. Matara voices in my head telling me to surrender. If I should surrender, what I go chop, oh my brother. Kitty, can feel many days, but I will never say never. Negative thoughts in my head saying they can just take stock hour. Many things my eyes are seeing, mama know they do complaining. I got wounds on my body.
Ministers of State, parliamentary candidates, the beautiful youth of Ghana, for the MPP to seek what it will seem as a third term. Yet here we are, just weeks away from one of the most remarkable comebacks in Ghanaian electoral